Hey everybody, it's your pal Mike Zombie, and this week we're going to talk about Stag Night of the Dead from 2010. Special thanks to Helen Grace from Left Films, I think Left Film Sales, for getting us a screener copy of this. McPierce just liked the poster. I don't know why. If you should Google Stag Night of the Dead, I don't know why. Daryl is distracted by sometimes the simplest of things. He's into colors, into patterns, repetition. He can visually pick out the Fibonacci sequence and things. It's just the way he is. So something about this poster must have caught his eye. I'm here on IMDb looking at this thing right now. Just finished watching this 5 minutes ago. I've had this for a while, and my apologies for not getting it to you sooner. It's got a 3.2 star rating from 263 users. I'd put it a little higher than that, to be honest with you. Wasn't great, but it wasn't that bad. The premise, the title pretty much tells you exactly what you're going to get. Stag Night of the Dead. Some friends in England are having a bachelor party. It's his stag night. This guy's getting married tomorrow to a flaming cunt on wheels. Now, I usually don't say the word cunt, so I do. I say it all the time, but that was just for Daryl because I actually mentioned that somebody was a giant C in an email, and he gave me some shit. What are we in, junior high? So I said, fine, she's a flaming cunt on wheels. So this guy's fiance would, I feel silly doing it so purposefully without anger. Usually I scream that word out my window and the words, can't you fucking drive, follow it. Just here on the microphone, it's kind of silly. Anyway, I digress. As always. It's his bachelor party and his buddies have, they look like they're at a fucking VFW or something, but this is in England, so I don't exactly know what kind of conversion they have there for a VFW. Maybe it's the same. And he's the groom's getting whipped and spanked, and his buddies are being loud and boisterous. His father-in-law to be is there as kind of like these smarter older British gentlemen. They all pile in this limo with the stripper and take off. And you can tell right away some of his buddies, they're kind of, you've had friends that were kind of like guys you knew but you weren't close with, but you would go out with to eat or party or whatever. These all seem to be casually distant friends. Nobody really tight with this guy, except his best man who's a fucking womanizer and a prick. But the beauty of this is they're not going to play paintball or laser tag. That fucking takes you back 25 years, laser tag. I played it. Fuck you. It was kind of fun for 5 minutes. They go to a military base. Though it's kind of awkward because for what's there, you would think it is a military base, but they make it seem almost as it's a private facility for an American businessman. And what he's got set up is like zombie tag for the most part. Because at some point there was an outbreak in I'm assuming just Britain, I don't think they mentioned it was nationwide, of zombies, and they cured the plague, everything's cool, but this guy, this American businessman, for some reason is running a British military base, has like a zombie experience set up where you run through with laser, well, I guess like laser, it's like lightning guns, and you shoot them. And they put your group there, they release you onto a course, and zombies come out, you shoot them with these electricity guns. It looks like lightning, but it's, I don't know. Lightning doesn't work this way. And it's kind of like a lightning gun. I don't know. It's kind of like the Ghostbuster guns, where you shoot the zombie with the gun. It takes away some of the charge off this pistol. These guns to me look like mock FS2000. So Google FS2000, the bullpup, and you'll know what kind of gun we're talking about. They each have one. It's got some kind of electricity charge, and at 1.20 gigawatts, we send Michael J. Fox back to Parkinson's. I don't know what the fuck happens. You shoot them, and the zombies drop for 5 minutes. 5 minutes, they fall down, then they get back up, so you don't do any permanent harm. So it's a big game. And the business, the guy, I forget his name, it doesn't fucking matter, he's a giant motherfucker like me, says, the rules are, stay together. Rule number 2, look for the charging stations because these guns will run out fairly quickly. And 3, don't make a mockery or embarrass or don't belittle the dead. So be cool with these things. So, of course, these guys just go fucking running rampant, except for a few that stick together. And they're shooting and shooting, not realizing their guns are suddenly dead and they're surrounded. So they're taking cover, of course, and they're being observed by the guy that runs this, and he's laughing. And we realize that there are some military-esque people around. So this isn't a completely private endeavor. There is some kind of military force, and I'm going to break it down. The guys get surrounded. Some of them die. A bunch of them die. It kind of defines the friendship with these guys. Since we knew just by how they interacted, they weren't close. And that's partially probably because they're all actors that don't know each other suddenly making a film. So you don't feel that innate bond that you feel with your best friend with these guys because they're all working actors. They don't fucking know each other. And they die. We see their relationships come together, fall apart, the betrayal. The stripper that we thought, well, she's got nice eyes. See? I don't have to work blue, you cocksuckers. She has nice eyes. She is like the heart of gold hooker. Pretty woman, the hooker with the heart of gold. But she's really a stripper. She's a student. So she ends up hooking up, not physically, with the lead, the guy who's was going to be married, finds out that his best friend has been banging his fiance for 2 years, so the marriage falls apart. And the two of these people fight their way out with the soon-to-be father-in-law, who turns out he's ex-military and he is the driving force to getting them out, whoops everybody's ass. They get out, and they basically flip the key to burn this fucking base down, and they take it out. Turns out I guess they had come up with the temporary cure for zombieism. Though they didn't really link why it wasn't mass produced, because this guy obviously was all about making money, and he'd made very small quantities of a drug that alleviated the symptoms that kept you from becoming a full zombie. So that part of it didn't make sense. Why instead of synthesizing a drug that you could sell and make billions off of in a zombie apocalypse, they kind of turned it into a little zombie amusement park for very little money. And I don't quite get that aspect of it, but whatever. The film itself was entertaining. One thing that caught me, though, is this is taking place in England, and an English, well, we think he's not the SAS or anything, but he's one of their branches of service. He's explaining the rules to the guys driving the military vehicle across this base to start the little game, and he specifically says, hey, no driving faster than 10 miles an hour across this tarmac, or whatever he says. And would you say 10 miles an hour in England? I don't believe you would. They don't go by miles. It's kilometers. Kilometers, however the fuck you say it. I don't know. I don't care. They have the running joke about the guy fucking up his suit. And you came to expect to hear that quip from everybody by the end, and you did almost hear it from everybody, including a dead man that was speaking. I would rate this higher than 3.2. I would put it in the range of 4. A little over 4. It didn't break any new ground, but it didn't make me hate it. If I could have one gripe about this film, it would be that they played it smart. If you don't have a giant budget and you're going to be after affecting everything, after a while, two things can look real repetitive. Blood flares that you're using over and over and over again. If it's always pitching out, at like a 40-degree angle, whatever, in this direction every single time you use it, eventually, someone like me or McPierce or you, we're going to recognize, I keep seeing that same thing happen over and over and over. And the same with fire. And I've seen plenty of films where they're using fire and explosions and to demonstrate a city is going down to ruins, but you see the same exact fire in 10 spots in the city, and it arcs and little flames shoot up at the same time, and it's almost comical. It's like, you're clearly doing this on a computer. Stagger it. Less is more in some cases. So this film was smart. They didn't just use the same shit. They avoided a lot of the blood effects by using the Ghostbusters Lightning FS2000s. I don't know what the fuck that was all about, but whatever. That was different, and I like that. I like it when you mix it up. But at the very end, they had some of the worst computer-generated special effects I've ever seen, where a zombie punches through a guy's back and it comes out his mouth. By the way, and that's stolen directly from Brain Dead. So I recognize that as I've seen that amazing movie before, and it looked a hell of a lot better than I just saw here. That was done kind of haphazardly. Other than that, this film's a total watch. Sadly, the girl you want to see topless, you never see topless. But there is a zombie girl. I forget her name. I just called her Tits McGee, and she was fantastic, even for a dead person, because I can stare at her. I know she's not dead. It's a fucking film. Anyway. I'm sorry, I'm in a shitty mood today. I had a doctor's appointment. I'm giving you the background. They took, and I'm not shitting you, 6 vials of blood for all kinds of diabetic testing, all kinds of other tests and glucose, whatever fucking nonsense. 6 fucking vials. And I got a flu vaccine on my right shoulder and a pneumonia vaccine on my left shoulder. I'm fucking incredibly sore. And so, whatever. So I'm bitchy. Sorry. On the Brudinski scale, be it a buy it, a borrow it, or don't bother, Tom and I know this is a borrow. This isn't a bad film. It's better than the rating it got on IMDb. Not leaps and bounds, but it is better. And again, special thanks to Helen Grace from Left Films. Appreciate the screener copy. Talk to you soon. Ooh, and some zombie reviewer, movie guy and love, some of you, will be a zombie this weekend. I'm going to give a shout to Katie Bowles Finley and ZombieBakeShop.com. Apparently, I'm going to be a zombie for one of their snacks, one of their film projects this weekend. I'm very excited. So look for a bald, goateed, obese zombie. He was a good eater. He ate well on his way out of life. Tumbling around, falling out of trees or whatever they're going to have me do. They're going to make me up and I'm going to go around and bite children and chase them all throughout the park, which the joke's on them. I was going to do that this weekend anyway, minus the fucking makeup. So we're all good. So look for something. We'll have an announcement. And I think as long as she can be available, I'm going to take Megan, my partner from faildozer.com. I'm going to take her along too, and we'll have a good time. Looking forward to meeting Katie. And I think Alicia Seaton's going to be there too. Fuck, this is going to be awesome. All right, I'm babbling.